What do you need? Hurry up. I don't have all day.
It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semine, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semine and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semine that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semine.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
Greetings, Master Guard.
So I says to him, "No, father. I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as late as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Semine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck where you're from. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yarko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. Prepare to fight.
The mangy fucking first is gum.
Why did you do that?
Hey! Stop! Either we
Who's
fucker
that madman?
Come on, Yurko!
Put him in the stove.
Go on. Send him open the minging hole.
I can't bear to look.
A madman! What are you doing?
Peace and quiet are things of the
Either
past.
we fucker a slap in the go. To the stop for them!
You ought to be ashamed.
Give that chick fucker a beating.
Shame! Shame on you!
Shame on you! Give that chick fucker a beating.
Bear to look.
Does anyone live like the Bible these days?
Come on. Oh, you wee bastard!
What the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare-arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
Not a bit that way.
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takeoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yechin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, Blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
so...
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No. That's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above. And how are you going to ride with us? On the back of my saddle? You're a bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
I figured I'd just run along behind you.
You could, but even with them young legs of yours, you'd hold us back. You're in need of a horse.
Well, those don't come cheap.
True. But your luck's in, lad. Our groom brought in a grey nag not long ago. Tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got any more questions.
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about. And you, sir? What is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now, you can't be very bright.
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semin? And your name isn't exactly very common.
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Samin's grandpa gave me. May he rest in peace. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, well, win an argument. I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long, we even share the same name.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
I'd like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
Well, I heard Lord von Berghoff will be at the wedding, and I need to speak with him.
Son, I don't know if you're serious or yanking my pizzle. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't you? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
We should probably get going.
That we should. But it's getting pretty late. We need daylight for a search like that. Come back in the morning and we'll set out. If you want, stay here. You'll get a bit of grub in the kitchen and you can sleep in the barn.
Don't cause any trouble, got it?
Greetings.
God bless.
Look out!
Who's my good boy? There.
Greetings to you.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
Would you happen to have a cheap horse for sale?
Well, I sell quite a few horses here, but by the looks of you, you must be talking about that grey nag, eh? But all she's good for are sausages. That old bitch won't let anybody touch her. I was already suspicious when that traveller sold her to me. He said he found her running about near the Rock Tower Pond.
Grey, old, and someone found her by the Rock Tower Pond. That's where we were ambushed. That's my horse. That's Pebbles.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down by the Rock Tower Pond, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
She's my horse. I rode in on her from Ratai, in the retinue that was attacked down by the pond.
Right. You happen to need a new horse, and this one just happens to be the one you already own. Does it have your brand? It does not, so you are out of luck.
Who sold her to you?
I told you already. Some young lad. He wasn't from here.
What did he look like? Where'd he go?
You're a bit hasty, eh? He had black hair and a big beard. And he looked like he'd been sleeping in the woods. And his breath smelled like hell. But I couldn't tell you where he was headed.
Look, you know they attacked an entourage by that pond, right?
I heard about it. That news spread through the land like wildfire.
And the one who sold it to you told you he found it by the pond, right?
Well, he did, aye.
So it's not entirely impossible she belonged to me.
Maybe not impossible, but I paid for her.
Aye, but just a few groschen. You said so yourself. Wouldn't you rather be in the good graces of someone who might have been part of that expedition?
Maybe so. All right, I'll give her to you. But you owe me one. Go and get her then. If she remembers you, she might even come when you whistle for her. Safe travels.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskovich.
Right, sir. You keep up with that. Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, as soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
With all due respect, sir, I wouldn't want to offend your relatives.
Don't worry, they're my wife's relatives. I see what you're getting at. So how did this little brawl of yours end up?
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Sameen. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on a mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
An axe.
Tell you what, save that for chopping wood. I wouldn't want you chopping his lordship's skull by accident. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Ah! Ah! Fucking hell! Ah! Jesus, I'm hit! Ah! 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 Oh, that's a lot of blood. This should stop it.
Henry, come here. I want to tell you something. What do you say, son?
Whew. You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
God's truth, sir. You didn't disgrace yourself, but I can see the young'un has spirit. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you.
I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty handy, youngster. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Sameen. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Scallops, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping the dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
Don't you see I'm walking here?
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
As you wish, sir. Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semine is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I don't think Lord Semin would do that. That'll be all. Thanks.
Christ, what now?
Well then, young man, how did it go?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum! Let's hurry! To Yitchin!
Sir, I could send a message to the Yitchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place, but I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
You found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the car back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
It's not my place to talk of such things, sir.
See, Gnarly? At least the lad knows his place and the order of the world.
Or he's afraid to speak his mind, sir.
None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar, right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
And someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you, they got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage around here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. We still can't be sure of anything.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my leg stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why is that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins, and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. When that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows, and the whirring of the spinning wheel.
Right up in the dark.
Oh,
Listen.
yeah, I hear it.
There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer.
They rolled around and gave off sparks.
What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it. And so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there, too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
For fuck's sake, you was never ordained Honza. I was. Stumbled in it. In the forest chapel by Bodira.
Like fuck he ordained you. Just 'cause old Stumble
Those
poured some
definitely are
pond
the
water on your head in
blacksmith's
the woods don't mean a damn thing.
But Stumble's a priest. Stumble is a drunken old fool. Who claims he was a priest.
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Sure am, sir.
I wouldn't worry about Henry, sir. He showed us mettle and training. So, how are we gonna do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
Someone could go back up top and try to take one of them down with an arrow before we charge them. There's a good view of the camp from up there.
Good idea. Borrow my crossbow. My shoulder's giving me jip anyway.
All right, sir.
Climb up top, and as soon as you shoot the first time, we'll charge them. And make sure you don't hit one of us.
Right you are, Captain.
That ain't normal. Everyone must be laughing at them.
Went. Why? Something quite like it. I don't know who like that. Did they do something? What the fuck do you imagine they do? Light up in the dark?
You're right. They did something. They rolled around and gave off sparks.
Now you're gonna die!
They'll finish this quickly.
Hey! That's the last one!
Watch out!
That weakling was useless. Stop dawdling.
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here, and none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
I am. Let's go.
Hold on, lad. Give me back my crossbow. You weren't thinking of keeping it, were you?
Of course. It did a good job.
I should bloody think so.
I thought we had everything clear, Venser. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
It makes no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time with the Shani, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours.
Ahem, gentlemen, I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Sameen, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. As long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
Come on, go. There's more of them. Now I'll show you. Hey, I need a hand.
Go at it!
You know, mate. Nice fight.
Through. Yeah!
He's done there.
Hey, now you're fucked up. Kill him!
Slice him up.
You'll be fucking sorry.
They got what they deserved, the fuckers. Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening? Come here!
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
I'll go and track him then.
Great. Hurry.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
Can't you think of any other way out of this?
Well, you could let me go.
Why would I?
Maybe for coin.
Carry on.
Well, Ghouls wasn't entirely wrong. We wanted to fuck him over and take the cart to Yachin.
Only it didn't work out.
As you can see, his fellows caught us on the way. We had to pull the cart over and haul the goods up to the rocks. But before Ghouls had a chance to count the loot, we skimmed off a bit. Well, that is, my cousin Franzi did. I had enough work hauling them sacks. If you let me go, well, I'll tell you where the loot is.
All right then. Tell me where you hid it, and I'll let you go.
The thing is, I don't actually know. Well, only Franzi does. He drew himself a map with charcoal, well, so's he wouldn't forget.
So, besides some dodgy map, you actually have nothing for me?
That's not nothing. I reckon I gave you some pretty valuable information.
You do you?
So you'll let me go?
Not a chance.
But I gave you what you wanted.
No. I didn't want anything. You're the one who started talking about coin, and in the end, you gave me nothing but a story that might or might not be true. So no, I'm not letting you go. Who knows what they'll do to you? You might just get a whipping.
For robbing Semine? That old miser? He'll have me strung up from the nearest tree. I'd be better off jumping off the cliff.
If I were in your shoes, I think I'd go for the rope. Falling to your death can be real nasty.
How would you know? Have you tried it? Although, to come up with something that stupid, you must have fallen on your head.
Well, come what may. Anything can happen. Maybe you'll get out of it somehow.
Sure, I'll get out of it. Bollocks. And I don't have to be the one who falls off the cliff. So no, I'm not going with you.
One-on-one, yeah. But it must be clear to you that you're no match for me. Even if the noose is waiting for you, it's still a more pleasant death than getting your head smashed in with a rock. And believe me, I'll do it if there's no other way.
Fuck. All right, I'll come with you. But you'll put a word in for me.
I might. As long as you don't try anything.
Promise me.
I won't promise you anything. Now, come on. I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end. Gnarly will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Semine. Want a ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with these hands.
Could you wait a while? I'd better just check that I haven't lost anything while running around here.
All right, but make it quick. I was happy to get out of Semine for a while, but now I'm looking forward to being back at my own fireside.
That looks like a map, carved into the rock. Is that offer of a ride still open?
Sure, if you want.
What's going to happen with that pair?
You mean Radovan's hands? We'll see. The one that ran for it, it's clear with him. The other fella was tied up, so who knows what went down. Maybe he was innocent. Gnarly'll have a word with him, and we'll see what he tells us.
Sir, Venser surrendered because I promised to put in a good word for him.
Well, it's nice that you promised him, but I'm the one who'll decide on the fate of that scum, and it's quite clear to me.
All right. A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Venser's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the car to Gills.
It weren't like that at all. We shook on it.
But on the way, you had the idea we'd keep it.
What? That ain't true.
Leave it out, you two. One way or another, you wanted to fuck me up. Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
So, you wanted to steal the cart for yourselves, but you still got caught?
I didn't want to steal anything. That was Venser.
It was your idea. What the fuck are you talking about, blaming Venser?
You really are prize idiots. If you hadn't gone round the rocks, you could easily have got away. But I've got a big heart, so I sent the lads to give you a hand.
I told Francie it wasn't a good idea to nick it.
Bollocks. As soon as you saw the lads, you gave the horses the whip. You were holding the reins, Venser.
You see?
While you were shouting rude insults. So you're both in it up to your necks, as far as I'm concerned.
Where are you taking us?
To Sameen, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realise you can't just execute me.
It depends. By right, I should send a plea to some court to decide if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. Parchment's dear, and ink ain't free either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily risk it and lop your head off without permission.
I see how the law is respected here.
Ha! Are you yanking my pizzle? You're a fine one to talk about law.
And what will happen to us?
If Lord Sameen's in a good mood, he'll try to find out whose idea it was.
It definitely wasn't mine.
You're such a rat, Francie.
On the other hand, when I hear you lot going on and on, I reckon he might not give a damn.
I'm innocent. I swear on my ma's soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Ha! Every man you could, I dragged to the gallows, swore on his mother. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was as pure as a driven snow. But this bastard doesn't think twice about his soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
That's right. You always were a piece of shit, Francie. No scruples.
Well, ain't it grand to have you here to explain everything? Now shut your gobs, the three of you. Don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout. Right, we're in Troskovitz. This is where you get off, Henry.
Thanks a lot, Captain.
Don't forget to go and tell Radovan what happened, so he can stop worrying.
Will do.
And drop by Sameen sometime. You may be wet behind the ears still, but you're a laugh to have around.
Thanks. You're not bad yourself, for an old fart.
You're not too old to get spanked, lad.
Let's talk about the price.
Gut, dann mal los.
Only because it's you.
That's more like it. Lower your price a little more and we can make a deal. Nein, so bestimmt nicht. I'm done haggling with you. Das war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen.
God grant you help.
So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semin's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realized they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semin, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semin, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down? The whole band?
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the cart and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semin took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I'd know what to do with them.
Don't worry. I don't think Lord Semin will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semin's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truscovitz. What do you think of her?
Well, young Semin is marrying her, isn't he? Why would I have my eye on her?
Don't pretend. A statue of a saint would have his eye on her. Looks ain't everything, though. She's got such a sharp tongue on her. I almost feel sorry for young Semin. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from the mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble-born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, He was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
What strange goings-on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition. But that's all I know.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia. But you'll have to ask the Truscovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Samin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truscovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation. Fucking shavings.